Today I fucked up by forgetting to hide sex toys and bong when management, maintenance and the fire inspector did unit inspections. This happened literally 5 minutes ago. 10 now cause TIFU again by forgetting a too long didn't read, lol. Today was inspections on our unit to check smoke and amp, carbon monoxide detectors as well as any repairs or issues, and I was so worried about dealing with my dog and cleaning up that I completely forgot to go back in my bedroom for the final tucking away of some sex toys that were on my bed and bong that was on my desk. All 5 people were in each room while I stood in the kitchen. They just left and I went to take a nap since I've been awake since 5 AM, and the first thing I noticed was my magic wand, 2 dildos, a flogger, and amp restraints just hanging on my bed plain as day, so I immediately panic as I remembered that I didn't do a final sweep in my room and see my bong with a freshly packed bowl. The maintenance guy gave me a fist bump as they were leaving, and he's a new guy, so I thought he was just trying to be friendly and show he's not stuffy, but now I'm wondering if it was for completely different reasons. The worst part is I'm supposed to start working with him on showing units starting next week, and I don't know how to face him. So looks like I won't be getting that nap in now. The embarrassment and slight worry, I don't live in a legal state anymore, is not going to let me sleep at this point. Too long didn't read, forgot to hide sex toys and bong during inspections, leaving them out for everyone, including a new guy I'm supposed to start helping starting next week, to know my business and amp. I'm now living in embarrassment and amp, hoping not to get an email about the weed ha. Edit, spelling. The guy doesn't care, and probably wants to smoke up with you sometime, if his response to all your sex toys and freshly packed bong being out in broad daylight in your room is to smile and give you a friendly fist bump. Probably his way of implying he's 420 friendly while remaining professional. New homeowner and sexual deviant here. Controlling parents/grandparents love to come over at a moment's notice and intrude on my daily life. I've stopped trying so hard to hide our toys and they've stopped intruding as much since. Girlfriend hates it, but I've given up on worrying about what they think. When I was a teenager, my older sister had given me a key to her apt. She was getting rid of her waterbed. She'd asked my dad to take it apart for her. She asked me to clear out a drawer of lotions and softcore toys she forgot about before my dad got there, lol. I did my brotherly duty, ensuring that dad didn't see. But my sister forgot that a boyfriend had put eye hooks in the bed for restraints, lol. Dad brought that up every few years, laughing his ass off. Sorry for your embarrassment, but this reminds me of something that I saw. I'm a firefighter and we had a house trailer catch fire. We had to cut a hole in the side of the trailer, and when we cut into it, we must have cut into a closet, and a giant box of dildos fell out onto the ground in front of everyone. I'm sure the lady experienced next level embarrassment. Unless it's everyone's first day on the job, I doubt it's close to the worst they've seen. A genuine fuck up, but you should be fine unless the management has a reason to break your proverbial balls. While my mind knew this, bless you for solidifying that reminder. Yep, I would have to move. I'm actually packing to move, which is why they were all out to begin with, but I'm just moving into a different unit in the same building, haha. Today I fucked up by becoming a chemically engineered sex god. So I'm your average mid-30s adult-aged human, in most ways. I'm not old, but I certainly don't feel young anymore. I have kids that keep me on a terrible sleep schedule. I'm hardly the epitome of health, but not concerningly unhealthy either. I'm a little overweight, but my height makes up for it. I'm a perfectly acceptable partner in bed. This is all to preface that I don't think particularly highly of myself in any regard. My partners have all told me I'm great in bed, but I mean, in the span of about 15 minutes I get them off. I get off, we cuddle, we sleep. I've never really considered myself particularly talented in the bedroom department, but 9 times out of 10 no one leaves the room crying. So, hey. Anyway, this happened. So the GF and I recently picked up a hookah in an effort to self-medicate away the stress of parenthood and life in general. We set it up Friday and hit it hard before going upstairs for some of the most incredible sex. I work until she's gotten off a good 3 or 4 times, then finished? Probably. The next day I asked her about last night, she said it was amazing. I finished. Right? Huh? Yeah? Okay. Saturday night, same thing. Stoned into oblivion, then upstairs for a lengthy round in the sheets where I think I came, possibly then fell asleep. Sunday morning, told my GF I gotta stop smoking for a while as it started giving me migraines, and she agreed. Had a nice day. Put the kids to bed, watched some TV until the kids were confirmed to be asleep, then ran to the bedroom horny as hell and ready to rock. 30 minutes in and she's having the time of her life while I'm on the verge of collapsing. I've had the green light to wrap things up for some time now, but just couldn't pull the trigger. Finally had to call it, collapsing next to her, sweating and panting. Maybe it's the heat. It's a really hot night. Yeah, maybe. It's fine, sleep now. Not an option. 2 hours pass and I'm wide awake, and I'm not the only one. It's 2 AM but fuck it. Round 2. Second verse, same as the first. GF is satisfied to heaven and back, but I just can't take the shot. I put my gun away and we tried to get some sleep. No luck. Now it's 6 AM and we're going for the hat trick. Once again, she scores while I'm stuck in the penalty box for delaying the game. We get through the day, tired as hell for having not gotten any sleep, and eventually find ourselves back in bed and ready to just die. Well, after a few minutes the dead rose and we kicked off another marathon night of aggressive cuddling. We tried everything this time: missionary, doggy, cowgirl, oral, reverse oral, pegging, unicorning, the Mississippi bird bath, bobsledding, the spicy gringo, in a box, with a fox, wearing socks while skipping rocks. She finally collapses, leaving me hard, backed up, and sad. Now I'm starting to think I need to see a doctor. So the next morning after dropping the kids off at school, I go to my desk to start working. I take my men's multivitamin, my allergy pills, and oh yeah. So a few days before all this started, my GF had a quick conversation with me. So hey, I know you've got anxiety and were thinking about trying to take something for it. I've been moved off my current anxiety meds but still have a month left. Did you want to try them? Well shit, I ain't scared. So I'm at my desk, looking at these pills I've been taking for about a week now, and finally decided to run a search on them. Fun fact: Lexapro, what I've been taking, is also given as a treatment for premature ejaculation. I've been wearing a chemical cock ring for almost a week now. Silver lining, since it was also working as anti-anxiety medication, I was pretty chill about it. So the pills have been disposed of and I'm back to enjoying a wonderful if slightly less spectacular sex life. Too long didn't read. Don't take prescription meds without consulting a doctor, and remember, with great power comes great responsibility. If it can even come at all. Lexapro, the orgasm killer, for me. You want anxiety or orgasms? Can't have both. I pick orgasms every time. I think you learned your lesson, but as a general PSA and pharmacy student, gotta say definitely don't want take prescriptions without prescriber approval. Medications like this we have to titrate doses up carefully because of side effects. Could have been much worse. The Mississippi bird bath, bobsledding, the spicy gringo, in a box, with a fox, wearing socks while skipping rocks. The best part of this, LOL. Another thing to watch out for, horny friends, is the dreaded tamsulosin, for your swollen prostate. You'll get the usual erection, but when it comes to final status, it's going the wrong way. Look up retrograde ejaculations when you get a chance. One nice thing, nothing to wipe off afterward. Another thing to watch out for, horny friends, is the dreaded tamsulosin, for your swollen prostate. You'll get the usual erection, but when it comes to final status, it's going the wrong way. Look up retrograde ejaculations when you get a chance. One nice thing, nothing to wipe off afterward. Rofl. I still remember that awkward conversation with my very attractive female urologist, where I asked, does it have any strange side effects twice before she smacked me in the head with that response. Still, worth it to get kidney stones out easier. I tried Lexapro, couldn't get off either. Cymbalta has worked for me. Orgasms aren't as good, but at least I'm not scared of everything. Somehow Prozac has made it easier for my GF to finish. No idea why. 20 mg Lexapro I can't come or shit. 10 mg I'm golden. When I smoke weed I come so hard I think my brain might explode. Today I fucked up by taking LSD and going to work. Alright boys and girls, gather round, it's story time. I was reminded of my FU by the mushroom story, so I thought I would serenade you all with my journey through my mind and into work. Obligatory this wasn't today. Nearly a decade ago now, gross, I'm old, I was an overworked, poverty-stricken undergraduate. Besides taking a full schedule of classes at the uni and an additional class at the local CC to try and catch up on my newfound major, biology, coincidentally I chose it because of a mushroom trip. I also worked as a food runner for a local comedy club. It was a sweet gig for a student. Club was only open Wednesday to Sunday. Important later, shows were at night as to not interfere with classes, and I saw tons of live comedy and got to party with some big names after the shows were over. Plus it being food service, those sweet tips kept ramen in my stomach and psychedelics in my brain. On to the fuck up. I had a friend G coming into town to visit me and I couldn't wait to show him my newfound affinity for entheogens. He had never taken LSD and I had a glorious day planned for us. It was a Tuesday, I was on spring break, and the sun was shining like a diamond. We were going to dose up, walk around the river, and just trip out. So we do the deed and begin our adventure. That trip had a lot of eventful occurrences, but about 4 to 5 hours in, peak of LSD trips, we had made our way back to my spot, blasting music and feeling quite high. Took a quick shower so we could get ready to go have dinner at my GF's house and cruise through our come down with my favorite people. Before we made the journey we decided to roll a blunt and smoke it. Now I'm fucking blasted. A couple minutes later the cook from my work calls. He's a bud and it's Tuesday, so I pick up. Mock 4-piece, where are you? Boss lady is wondering why you're late. Trying to hold on to this sliver of reality and comprehend time as a thing, I respond, bro, it's Tuesday, WTF are you talking about? The cook reminds me we have a charity event tonight. The club would rent the space out for private comedy shows to groups on Monday and Tuesday every once and a while. This Tuesday is not just any charity show. It's a sheriff's department private event. They would hold events at our club and do raffles and get wasted and probably drive home every so often. Cue panic. Looking back, I should have just said I couldn't do it. I was sick, dead, or fucking anything. Nope. I said I'd be right there. I get off the phone, look at my wide-eyed friend and tell him the deal. He laughs. I stink like cannabis, so I jump back in the shower, throw on my outfit and beg my roommate to drive me to the club. Arrive at the club panicked for being high AF. And for being late. My boss asks why I'm late, words come out and she seems convinced enough, so I run off with my head down. Food at the club entails getting about 50 tables worth of orders before the show starts and then delivering the items when the lights go off. One thing about these sheriff shows is that they love to eat. Often at the club, the shows start after dinner, so most people are just drinking, but these charity shows start earlier and people come to eat. That means I'm way fucking busier than normal. I'm frantically running around taking orders, and at one table in particular I distinctly remember the wife of an officer looking over at her husband and waving her hand in front of her nose indicating she thinks I smell, I presume, like weed. I took 2 showers, and my mind is in full panic mode. I manage to get orders and enter them in the system. The show starts and the lights go off. As orders start coming out, I begin to realize I have no idea where any of the food goes. I blew it trying to remain composed and didn't document the tables well. I repeatedly walked out into the dark club with hands full of plates, having no idea where these nachos belong and those chicken wings go. I struggle with shadow patterns, angry patrons, and a fear and loathing looking boss. At the end of the night I am totally exhausted, fried to say the least. Somehow I had managed to collect all the money and even made 100 in tips. I gave half to the cook as I revealed to him where my mind had been all night. He laughed and gave me a dessert. Solid move, Mike. Got a ride home, showered for the 3rd time, grabbed G and we ended up at my GF's where I promptly closed my eyes to enjoy the last of my visuals. Fuck that night. TLDR, took acid, fed a room full of pigs, made money. Edit, thanks for the awards y'all. Heart.